If anyone thought Trump's Greenland obsession was a typical late-night Truth Social rant meant to inflame and nothing more, you should think again. Despite it being explained to him in painful detail that Greenland is a territory of Denmark and by extension a part of NATO, he still says he wants the island. Despite being reminded that we already have a military base there and can expand our footprint if we merely ask, he still says he wants to be an owner, not a renter. Despite every poll, domestically and internationally, telling him he's insane to even consider taking another country, and when even bad guy nations like Russia and China tell him that such a strongman move would justify their expansionist ambitions, he doesn't care. In fact, he only ramped up this rhetoric, refusing to rule out the use of force and, like a toddler with a crayon box, posting cartoons, pasting a U.S. flag on foreign land. But this embarrassing episode only got more cringeworthy. When Europe rallied to Greenland's defense and actually committed to deploy troops on the island in a show of resolve, Trump stamped his feet and imposed additional tariffs on the continent. In response, the Norwegian Prime Minister, Jonah Gahr, sent him an olive branch offering to have a talk and de-escalate the situation. Donald, he was having none of it, and revealing that his tantrum may have a lot to do with him not getting a shiny medal that he really wants. Dear Jonas, considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars plus, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace, although it will always be predominant, but can now think about what is good and proper for the United States of America. Oh my God. Our president just confirmed that because he wasn't feeling appreciated, he would potentially invade an ally, embolden enemies, and destroy an alliance that has stood for generations. I want you to consider the range of voices that have condemned such a needless, self-destructive act that make us weaker, not safer as a country. Eric Erickson, an influential conservative voice who supported Trump as a candidate, called this latest fiasco an indictment of his insane impulse control issues, and that his behavior is, quote, beneath the dignity of the presidency and is shameful, end quote. Republican Senator Thom Tillis was just as blunt.
Ladies and gentlemen, the thought of the United States taking the position that we would take Greenland, an independent territory within the Kingdom of Denmark, is absurd.
It's gotten so bad that even Canada is getting involved, taking sides against its southern neighbor.
On Arctic sovereignty, we stand firmly with Greenland and Denmark and fully support their unique right to determine Greenland's future.
Macron from France spoke for Europe in what has to be considered an embarrassing reminder of the lessons of World War II.
And it's not an old-fashioned way to live multilateralism. It's just not to totally forget what we learned from the Second World War and remain committed to cooperation. And this is also because of those principles that we have decided to join the mutual exercise in Greenland without threatening anyone, but just supporting an ally and another European country, Denmark.
I don't know how we possibly got to the point where the surreal somehow became a legitimate self-manufactured crisis, but my friends, here we are. Can we speak in a bipartisan way that this is not only not normal, but no one elected this guy to take over nations, burn alliances, and ruin our good name? Whatever this insanity is, it most certainly is not making America great. To the contrary.